This is the lesson for Secondary 1 Math, lesson number 6-2, and this part is going over the warm-up. So last time we talked about the domain and range and relations as a function. It says to list the domain and range of each relation as a set. And so first of all, we're going to say the domain, and I'm going to list all the domain numbers. So 7, 12, 13, 17, and 20. And when you do that, you do want to put them in order. Again, it's an organizational tool. The range is going to be all of my y values. And so I'm going to write those: -3, -1, 2, -1. Oh, I don't have to write that one again. Don't write it twice. And -3, I don't need to write that again either. So I can just finish up with that. Okay, the next question I'm just going to go over to number 3. It says, is the relation in number 1 a function? Why or why not? Are there any repeats in the domain? Did you say, oh, I don't want to write that twice on anything in the domain? One way you can tell really easily is I have 5 ordered pairs and I have 5 things in the domain, and so there were no repeats. So this one is a function, and the reason why is the domain does not repeat. That's basically your reason whenever you're saying that something is a function. Okay, number 2, we're going to list our domain. So numbers from least to greatest, -8, -5, and then -8, that's a repeat. So I know right now it's not a function. I'm not going to write anything twice. And then my range is going to be the 9, the 4, the 1, the -6, and the 3. And this is not a function. The domain repeats. Okay, number 5. It says to evaluate f of x, which is equal to -3.5x minus 8 over this domain. What that means is you're going to put in each of those inputs one at a time. So f of -2, you're going to do f of 5, and then you're going to do f of 8. So you're going to evaluate each one of those individually. And then your answer will be the set of numbers that are your 3 answers. So f of -2, we're going to have -3.5 times -2 minus 8. And so you're going to evaluate that. So that's going to be 7 minus 8, which is -1. The next one, f of 5, we're going to have -3.5 times 5 minus 8. And when you evaluate that, it's -25.5. And then f of 8, -3.5 times 8 minus 8, and that's -36. So -36 is going to be the last number in my range. And so this is my answer right there. That's the answer to number 5. Okay, number 7. I'm going to erase number 5. I'm moving across. I'm not going in order, but number 7, it says evaluate h of x, and this is the h of x. And so I'm going to do for 0, 3, and 8. So I'm going to say h of 0 is equal to 4 times 0 minus 11 over 3. So that's 0 minus 11, which is -11 over 3. Then I'm going to do h of 3. That's 4 times 3 minus 11 over 3. That's 12 minus 11, which is 1/3. Then I'm going to do h of 8, which is 4 times 8 minus 11 over 3. So 4 times 8 is 32, minus 11 is 21, and 21 over 3 is equal to 7. So my answer for number 7 will be, I'm trying to figure out where to write this, it's going to be -11/3, 1/3, and 7. Okay, number 6, we are going to evaluate f of x. So over -4, 0, and 15, so f of -4. And then I'm going to do f of 0, and then I'll do f of 15. And so I'm just going to put these in my calculator. So 0.75, I'll write down the first one that I'm going to do. 0.75 to the -4th power plus 6. I'm going to put that in my calculator. When I get that out, I'm going to get an output of 9.2. I feel like it's easier if you remember that the -4 is your input and the 9.2 is your output. So you put in -4, you get out 9.2. That kind of helps organize your thinking, I think. F of 0, 0.75 to the 0 power is 1, and 1 plus 6 is 7. And F of 15, that's going to come out to be 6.01. And it says round to the nearest tenth if necessary, so we're going to say that that's approximately 6. And so my range is going to be 9.2, 7, and 6. Okay, for number 8, it says G of M is equal to 3/5 M plus 2. And so I'm going to evaluate over these three numbers. So G of negative 10. Notice that this one says G of M, and that means that my variable is M this time. I'm going to do G of negative 5 and G of 0. So when I put the negative 10 in, so 3/5 times 10 times negative 10 plus 2, that comes out to be negative 4. I'm going to put my range right down here, so negative 4 will be my first answer. Then I'm going to do G of negative 5, and so you can just put this in your calculator, so do 3 divided by 5 times negative 5 plus 2, and just put that in. And so for that one, I get out negative 1. And then for G of 0, 3/5 times 0 is 0 plus 2 is 2, and so that's my answer. For number 9, we're just going to simplify. So remember that we combine like terms in a situation like this. So I've got 5v plus 7v is 12v. And then I'm going to have the negative 3 plus 1, so that's negative 2. And that's all you're doing here. You're just simplifying that. We're going to use that skill today. And then number 10, look for like terms. I've got 2 minus 8w, so negative 6w. Then I've got 8 and negative 14, so 8 minus 14 is negative 6.